It's over. And you need to be disbarred. You need to be removed from office, impeached, whatever they have to do to someone as corrupt as you to get you out. That's what we want. Welcome to John Mike Keene. As reality hasn't set in on some Democrats, Juan Merchan is ready to dismiss the Trump charges. And so he's kind of living in reality. Those are the Democrats that live in reality. But there's hardcore Democrats still holding on. Letitia James, the psycho ones. Alvin Bragg is another one. Jack Smith is yet another. Here's the article over at Fox News. Greg Jarrett, Trump's sentencing is canceled. Will reality ever take a bite out of Bragg's outrageous case? In other words, will he realize it's canceled? Will reality ever smack Alvin Bragg in the face? You can let me know in the chat if you think Alvin Bragg's ever going to live in reality. It is well established that the presidents are immune from any criminal process, state or federal. This is by Greg Jarrett, trying to be a journalist over at Fox News. Quote, "The law is an ass" is an English proverb now liberally practiced by the American judges who are neither sensible nor fair. New York Judge Juan Merchan has consistently proven the point by his maltreatment of Donald Trump and the ill-conceived and not factual prosecution brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. The case resulted in preordained guilty verdicts last May in a trial that stands as a monument to injustice. But on Friday, in the aftermath of Trump's presidential victory, Merchan canceled next week's scheduled sentencing and reluctantly agreed to formally consider a defense motion to dismiss the case entirely. A sensible and fair judge would grant it. That may exclude Merchan. I actually think he could grant it. In previous letters to the judge, defense attorneys make a compelling argument that the convictions should be vacated given their client's election as the next commander-in-chief. It is a position that is constitutionally unique. They correctly contend that the immediate dismissal is mandated by the federal constitution, the Presidential Act of 1963, in the interest of justice to facilitate the orderly transition of executive power. In other words, you cannot move him into power if he's being tried, which is lost on these really slow Democrats. Indeed, it is well established that presidents are immune from any criminal process, state or federal. The same principle necessarily extends to the president-elect, who must be free from disruption occasioned by the transfer of power. Now, so far, too slow, Alvin Bragg is trying, he's been making the case this week, saying that he could still try Trump when he gets out of office in 2028, when Trump is 82 years old. That's how petty and psychotic and religiously progressive these people, it's like a religion that they hold on to. States have no authority to transgress federal laws passed by Congress, including the Transition Act. Interference by local prosecutor and or judge could jeopardize the national interest and prove the detrimental to safety and well-being of the people, as the statute explains. This goes back to, are the Democrats ready to jeopardize the national interest? Yes, of course they are. They don't care about the national interest. They don't care about democracy. We already know that. They're the ones against democracy. And now they're the ones against the national interest. In his order Friday, Merchan also recognizes authority to set aside the verdicts if mistakes were made at the trial, which would merit reversal. There were so many, you'd need a calculator with infinity technology to keep track. Chief among them was that prosecutors relied on tainted evidence prohibited in the presidential immunity standard enunciated by the Supreme Court on July 1st. For months, Bragg has opposed dismissal. He implausibly claims that such immunity evidence was wholly unimportant and had no bearing on the outcome. Really? Why then did his prosecutors emphasize the crucial nature of that very evidence during their closing arguments, which is considered just a huge mistake? And we'll wrap this up. Considering Merchan's blatant anti-Trump bias throughout the trial, he could still side with Bragg by asserting that the court's reversible error was merely harmless and had little or no impact on the jury's verdicts. If he does, the judge must turn a blind eye to how the high court specifically foreclosed this type of harmless error. I just want to emphasize this sentence. He, Merchan, could still side with Bragg. That is, it is Bragg who wants this thing to go on, and Merchan is ready to dismiss. I'm John Mike Keene.